In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful, and may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon His last and beloved Messenger Muhammad, and may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you all. The title of this presentation is The Conclusive Proof that Jesus is not the Son of God. Now, to start with, why am I doing this presentation? Twofolds. The first one is that it's the obligation of every Muslim to deliver the message of Allah to people. So the message of Allah, what Allah, God Almighty, wants us to know, is contained in the Quran, and it's the obligation of every Muslim to deliver this information to people as a mercy for them. Now the second fold is that it's out of love I'm doing this presentation. Now, we as humans, we should have love and compassion towards each other. For example, if you see a cat in pain, you rush to help that cat. Now, as humans, if you see your brother or sister as a human, as a person, is doing something wrong, and Allah gave you knowledge, that then it becomes your obligation to advise that person, to show him the mistakes he is doing in order to rectify himself. Because Allah gave you knowledge, you know that this mistake he's doing, it will put him in pain in this life and the hereafter. So, let's talk about the topic of this presentation, is that the conclusive proof that Jesus is not the Son of God. Now, on this earth, there are more than 1.5 billion people who believe that God has a son, and that this son is Jesus. Now, according to the last revelation to people of the Quran, this belief is wrong. And according to the Quran, God does not beget children, and Jesus is not the Son of God, he is merely a messenger of God. But the question remains, how to conclusively prove this? And in this presentation you will see a clear-cut, straightforward proof that Jesus is not the Son of God. I just want you to be honest with yourself. That's the only requirement I require of you, just to be honest to yourself. Now this conclusive proof, Allah, God Almighty, teaches us in the Quran. Instead of going to guesswork, and I think this and I think that, let's go to the message of Allah to people of the Quran. So as you can see on the screen, this proof is found by pondering upon verse number 75 of chapter 5 of the Quran, which reads, this is translation: the Messiah, Jesus, son of Mary, was no more than a messenger. Many were the messengers that passed away before him. His mother was a Siddiqah. They both used to eat food. Look how Allah, God, makes the signs clear to them, yet look how they are deluded away. Meaning deluded away from the truth. Now, how can we find in this Quranic verse the conclusive proof that Jesus is not the Son of God? Now, Allah draws our attention here to a very kind of straightforward, obvious fact about Jesus and his mother Mary, peace be upon them both, that they both used to eat food. It's mentioned in the verse, they both used to eat food. Now, we know, it's obvious, that the son of something will have the qualities of that something. For example, the son of a human being will have the qualities of a human being. The offspring of a cat will have the qualities of a cat. Now, if God has a son, then this son would have godly qualities. Now, so if Jesus was Son of God, then he would have godly qualities. So the big question now